Morning, and here are your top 5 stocks to watch out for in trade today. Well, it's a whole host of numbers that the street will be keenly watching out for. So you've got the likes of Cipla, Vedanta, ITC, as well as Bosch, Ashok, Leyland, India Cements and Tata Consumer, all of which will be coming out with their quarterly show today. Well, here's what to expect from ITC. The standalone revenue is seen lower by about 4.4% at 11,350 crores. PAT is seen at 3,522 crore rupees, that's down about 12.5%. The margins are seen coming in lower at about 36% versus 38.4%. And the cigarette volume growth is expected to be lower than minus 10%, impacted by supply issues due to the lockdown. FMCG business is likely to do well. Hotel and paper business, that could be under pressure. Cipla as well, watch out for sales at 4,623 crore rupees. PAT is seen at 578 crores versus 471 crore rupees. Margins are expected at 21.8%. Niche launches are likely to drive a 10% growth in their US sales to about $150 million, while the update on growth in DF, the acute chronic trade, generics, One India strategy, all of that will be very closely watched out for. Next up, keep an eye out on Reliance Industries as well, and would you believe it, it is yet another check that is coming in for the company. In fact, we understand that Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, that's PIF, it's one of the world's largest sovereign wealth funds. They plan to invest close to 9,555 crore rupees, roughly $1.3 billion into the retail unit for about 2.04% stake. And this is an 8th investment by a global investor, and this values Reliance Retail Ventures at a pre-money equity value of 4.5 lakh crores, that's around $62 billion. And this is going to strengthen PIF's presence in India, and it follows the earlier acquisition of PIF's 2.32% stake in Geo Platforms. And so far now, RIL has sold 10% stake in Reliance Retail Ventures for a combined value of 47,265 crores. Moving on then, keep an eye out on eClerx as well. Numbers pretty strong, you'd have to say. PAT came in higher by 18% at 61 crores. Margins grew to 29.9%. Revenues were up about 7% to 360 crore rupees. Berger Paints revenues as well were healthy, up about 9% to come in at 1742 crore rupees. You had the EBITDA, which was lower by about which was higher by about 34% on a year-on-year basis, to come in at 334 crores, and PAT at 221 crores versus 195 crores. And watch out for Godfrey Phillips, as Richard Modi, who is one of the board members of the company, has alleged serious irregularities and corporate governance issues at the company and sought the intervention of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now, this is all according to the Economic Times reports. He's opposed the nomination of his grandmother, Beena Modi, as the managing director after the death of her husband, KK Modi, and sought an investigation by now the SFIO. So this will have to be looked at closely, and watch out for these stocks and trade.